What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. This is Talos. Joining me of course in this video is my good friend Liam. What's up, man?
How's it going, guys? Good to be back again. Hopefully everyone's feeling well and good.
And today we're going to be doing another retro pre-PSA video of the original waifu of Yu-Gi-Oh! The Dark Magician Girl. Oh yes, this is the first edition from the Magical Force or Magician's Force Secret Rare, and it's going to be a doozy, so we're going to be inspecting this one. And of course, before we get started, if you guys are new to the channel and love the videos that we do here, consider also giving us a like and improve that YouTube algorithm, because this is going to be a doozy of an episode, especially potentially a $9,000 card. So definitely give us support with some likes and hopefully we get some good gradings. But if you guys want to check out the pre-PSA for the Blue Eyes White Dragon, I will have that annotated as well in one of the eye icons, so definitely check that out. Without further ado, let's pop some of our gloves here and give it an inspection. Alright guys, here it is. The famous and wonderful and sexy Dark Magician Girl. This is like the waifu, the first waifu that anyone will ever love in Yu-Gi-Oh! Wouldn't you agree?
She's a phenomenal character, beautifully drawn, and most of all, she certainly is a character you can just adore aesthetically.
I actually saw some really good gloves to get. It's like a inspection gloves. I might put a picture up, but it looks pretty cool. And I was kind of wondering your guys' opinion. If you guys recommend those like gloves, or do you recommend something else? Or do you like go old school and just do the basic latex gloves that we're using right now? Because obviously with retro cards like this, we want to be extra careful not to leave any fingerprints. Alright, let's do this. Alright, let's unwrap her and check her out. Check her out. Now this was also double sleeved. Alright. There she is, boys and girls.
Shimmers beautiful.
Now obviously it is the Secret Rare MFC 000 first edition. Alright, let's take a little gander here. Now the one thing I definitely want to note on here, you definitely see it on the corners here. There's a little scuff there. There's a little scuff in that corner as well. On the top left and right. The bottom two looks pretty good for the most part, I think. Maybe the bottom left might be a little bit better.
And you can slightly see where the wear and tear has been on the corners, but generally speaking, it's an extremely tidy card. Very tidy.
Very tidy.
Especially for something that some years old now.
So we'll take a note of that. Now let's take a note of the actual centering as well. For the most part, I think the centering is actually really good. Left and right and top to bottom.
It definitely looks exactly as it should be intended. Fair on both sides, and even the logos, everything looks just right.
We're not saying this one's a fake. This is definitely a real legit one, because you can even see on the bottom right with the gold first edition logo. You have the Millennium Eye. See if I can get that on video for you guys. On the bottom right, you see the Millennium Eye and the Yu-Gi-Oh!
Certainly fits the ratio that they asked for.
Yeah, it's just that top left that's kind of like the worst in terms of the corners. Now the one thing I definitely want to cover as well is the actual luster of the holographic. I think it, for the most part, it's retained that holographic luster. Now with the Secret Rares, they typically have a almost glittery holographic feel to it, similar to other Secret Rares that we unboxed earlier. Which, by the way, if you haven't already, check out our unboxing. We had a couple of Secret Rares on there. They are pretty epic, so definitely check that unboxing out.
Brings back good memories, even from the anime series.
I mean, this is the original waifu, man. This is the original waifu. Now, in terms of the name, Dark Magician Girl, looks like it's pretty good. It looks like nothing's been faded out there, which is exactly what we're looking for.
No chipping at all on the naming at all. So.
Yeah, it's very clean. All right, let's check out the reverse. All right, the reverse looks pretty good. You don't see any bends. You don't see any like dents or. I mean, there's some scratches. You can tell there's a bit of scratches there on the top. You kind of see a little bit on the light. There's a little bit of, almost like it's been slid down.
It's a certain type of holder that was not quite for the right card, maybe, or just a bit heavy-handed when pushed into it.
It also just might be the fact that it was just lightly played, so it was played in a duel a few times, so it's been slid down. So like I could imagine like you place the card down and face down defense or face up defense, and just sliding around, and it slides around in your graveyard, stuff like that, or inside of your deck when you're shuffling. Maybe that can also affect it as well. It wasn't heavily played, which is important. In terms of the centering, now PSA might not like grade the back too much on centering, but the centering here looks pretty damn good too.
Would definitely give it a bang-on ratio to 60-40.
Yep, the corners look pretty good on the back. I don't think there's anything on the back that's super bad. It's just that one corner in the front, I think. Maybe two corners in the front is what's kind of concerning a little bit. Especially that top left.
And as it's only minor, these will only really keep it to a high ratio, I'd be betting.
The bottom left maybe a little bit too.
It does look like it from this angle. It does look tiny bit creased.
Yeah, tiny crease. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I mean that's what happens when this came out I think 2003 for the Magician's Force. So what is that, like 19 years old roughly? Maybe 18? Is it 18 maybe? But
absolutely phenomenal condition still.
Yeah, for 18 years old, that's amazing. All right, so let us go and flip over to the main camera here, and we'll do our analysis and our guess of what the PSA grade may be. But however, in the comments down below, let us know your guys' opinions on what you think this card will be graded as, and then when the card gets returned to us, see if you get it right. Now we just got done with the inspection of the Double Magician Girl, and obviously I just want to show up my other Double Magician Girls. If you guys want us to check some of these out to do another inspection for the other waifus, the Double Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight, I got both the alternate art as well as the main art, and then of course I got this from the MVP 1 of the alternate art secret rare as well. These probably won't be worth as much, but if you guys just want to check it out regardless and just kind of do a video on it, let us know in the comments down below. But going back into the actual Double Magician Girl, we have a couple of websites here we want to check out. Obviously we're going straight into the PSA card website. All right, this is the Double Magician Girl. All right, now Liam, what do you think the card will be? I don't think this is going to be a 10, unfortunately. We had that one little corner that was like kind of iffy. It's kind of scuffed up. We have possibly another corner that might be bent. Centering wise, it was good. In terms of the retaining its luster, the gloss, it's there. So it was really only just two issues that I've noticed. Was there anything that you noticed?
I think you hit the nail on the head when it comes to this specific Dark Magician Girl. The edges do detract from it a little bit. I wouldn't go as low as the 7, just because of the pure good condition, the fact that it's not faded. The holographic is still, your camera picks it up really well, and for a card that old, you can't really go wrong, especially with the 60-40 ratio.
And obviously we're looking at the grades here. Obviously if it was a 10, it could easily have been like a $9,000, $4,000 card. Now the most recent sale was back in November of 2020. That was a $9,000 one, a PSA 10, and I think that's pretty much the rough estimate that we got. Is there anything that's a 10? This is an 8 right now, so 8 is about 2,500. A 9 is about 4,000. A 9.5, that might be too much. I don't think that's worth that much, but you never know. You never know. It could be $13,000. There's also another 9.5, possibly PSA 10, 17,500. A 9 is 7,000. So roughly 2,000 to 2,500 for an 8. So let's go back into PSA. Like we were saying, this is probably not a 10. I don't even think this is a 9, honestly. A 9 is about 4,000 roughly. This one is about 7,000. That's a big range, but anywhere from 4 to 7,000 range. So you're saying that it might be a 7, right?
If I was to give the lowest, I wouldn't put it below a 7. Just because nice looking and the edges aren't that bad.
According to this, it looks like a 7 is about 800. Of course, that was the most recent auction. As low as $560 for a 7. There's currently nothing on eBay that we can compare it to. I'm thinking that this might be a low, like the low range. I think right now it's probably appreciated in value. Because it's currently at the current recording of this video, so I would imagine it's like closer to 1,000 now. Would you agree?
Yeah, good ballpark indeed.
If you look at an 8, according to the most recent sales on PSA, about 2,000 here. But if you look into eBay, an 8 could be about 2,000 to 2,500. So it's about the same ranges. So it appreciates a little bit. So we can assume that a 7 also appreciated the same amount, so 900 to 1,200.
That's my lowest. Like if the person on the day that was giving it the grade, if they were to give it the possible worst case scenario type deal, whereas if I was to give an upper, I would push as far as to say the 8.
But your final guess here will be an 8?
If I was if I was putting money on the line, I would definitely say an 8.
You know what? I kind of agree with you. So that's kind of our guesses. Definitely in the comments down below. We mentioned this already, but if you haven't already done so, what are your guesses of what you think this card will be? And obviously, once we get the card back from PSA, see if you got it right. So let's go into PSA here. Let's see what 8 is. PSA near mint is what it's called apparently. Is a super high-end card that appears midnight at first glance, but upon closer inspection, the card can exhibit the following: a very slight wax stain on the reverse, slightest flaring on 1 or 2 corners. 1 or 2 corners, and we did see 1 or 2 corners with flaring, but we don't know what they mean by slightest flaring. So it might be, I don't know. Might be at that point where it might be too much flaring, so it kind of just depends on the person doing the grading. A minor printing imperfection and or slightly off white borders, and centering must be approximately 65-35, which I think our centering is pretty good. So we had no issues with centering. The only issues we had were those 2 corners. Let's see what a 7 is for a near mint. A card with a slight surface wear visible upon close inspection. There may be a slight flaring on some corners. Picture focus maybe slides off the register and minor printing blemish and blah blah. Yep, so same thing here, corners. So it kind of depends right now, like how strict there will be on those 2 corners. It's kind of flipping back from 8 or 7 for me.
I'd still lean towards the 8 just because of the condition. You know, the back isn't bad at all either.
Yeah, it does say 1 or 2 corners, so it's tough, guys. It's tough. But yeah, guys, that is our guesses. Liam is going for a solid 8. I'm going to guess a 7. Only because I just feel like they might be a little more stricter. Obviously, Liam, he's always the benefit of the doubt type of person. And I always appreciate that of him. And I'm a little bit more the pessimistic person. So I'm going with a 7. I don't think, like Liam said, I don't think this is going to be lower than a 7. If this is lower than a 7, I wouldn't say I'll be upset. I'll be very confused, more so. So we're going to be submitting this card out now, or sometime in the future anyway, to get it graded officially from PSA. So we got a lot of big content coming up for 2021. And if you guys do love the video, show that support by mashing a like button for that YouTube algorithm. And of course, comment down below, let us know your guesses, see what you kind of fall in as well, and we'll definitely see you in the next video. This is Liam signing out.
Back in the next installment.
There, guys.